It's Infinity N5 week, and we have 3 Operation Sandtrap Battle Packs to be won. We will choose 3 winners, one from the comments on our YouTube videos, one from the comments on OnTableTop.com, and one from our Cult of Games members, so you guys get an extra chance to win.
Hello everybody and welcome back to this N5 week. I'm joined by Carlos from Corvus Belli and Killian, his delightfully large little Irish minion.
Tall and merciless is what I prefer, actually. But
that's what we're after. This video is going to be covering N5, the rules and the changes within it.
Excited for this.
Highlights. Of course, it's a huge rule set, but we're pointing out stuff that you might already know if you are a super hardcore fan and have been following every dip of information, or just sum it up what we have been communicating and we're going to communicate right now. This is official, this is canon, this comes from Corvus Belli and OnTableTop, this is worker approved, this is happening. So get ready, because this might be one of the most interesting videos for the whole week. First of all, rules and profiles. N5 PDF file available for download, and Army App N5 official update on November 18th. That's the official date. If they change it, because we are flexible people. The deadline for the developers and testers, the deadline for the IT unit in Corvus Belli is November 18 in order to make everything work. Expect servers to fall down, expect websites to totally crash, expect unexpected issues, expect typos, expect everything. But it's part of the party, okay? Because we're giving it to you for free. So, yeah.
I've just seen the next screen. Oh my God, okay.
Yeah, the next screen is if you want to panic, do it. Okay, if you want to enjoy it, do it. But before we even go into this, believe me, there were much severe and drastic versions of this. So finally, Corvus Belli is just doing this. So these are the armies that arrived to N5. Okay, these are the armies that are going to be playable in N5, adapted, their point cost and everything, and available in the army on November 18th. First, we go on Pano. Pano had too many sectorial armies.
It's 6. Yeah.
6. Yes. So now we're going to Pano as a generic vanilla army that has a constrained list and is allowed to make a little fire teams. Kestre Colonial Force is the new thing, of course. Military orders.
Yep.
Super fan favorite Infinity Army that will never go away despite how much I hate them. Winterfell stays in N5. But Pano is losing, Varuna is losing Acontecimiento, and is losing Neoterra. Will they ever come back? Maybe, at some point. But right now, N5 begins without them. And that's the news here, okay? So, huge blow for Pano.
Yeah, we lost a lot.
Yeah, you consider yourself Pano, okay?
Our first army. So
okay.
You never forget your first love.
You never forget your first love, no. I'm going to miss Acontecimiento. I will miss Acontecimiento.
So the Golden Line, enjoy the stuff that is here until the old stuff comes back, okay? So Kestel Colonial Force is the new flavor. As far as I have heard, they taste a little bit like Neoterra, but they seem to have visors in every single corner of the uniforms. So enjoy them right now. Moving on, we have Yuqing, and Yuqing keeps its 3
because it had 3
original. No, the original were 4. We also have but we don't talk about that. Okay, Invincible stays. Imperial Service not only stays. Imperial Service is going to receive a huge boost because right now, as we speak, new Imperial Service units are being designed. I can tell you that. So White Banner stays. So that's Yuqing. Ariadna had a lot of sectorial armies, and now it's Ariadna, Cosmoflot, USAR, US Ariadna Ranger Force, stays, and Tartari Army Corps. In fact, Tartari Army Corps are getting new stuff with N5. So Hakislam still has its own 3 sectorial armies. Assassin Baram, who will always be there. I mean, in my opinion, they are like military orders for Pano. Assassin are always there, like super fan favorite army. Ramatas Force, Kapukalki. Okay, and Kapukalki has kind of received the reinforcements. The Corsan.
Yeah.
Kapukalki unit in a certain way. So they are still there. Nomads, Corregidor Bakunin and Tunguska, still there.
The
Combined
3 core
army,
ships.
Onyx, Morat, Sasbasti, still there and getting Achilles apart from all
Yeah,
of that.
that's another one for Onyx.
Okay, Toha.
Toa survive into N5. Yes, that could be a hashtag. Toa survive to N5.
Toha survived. So yeah, those of you who bought Toha in the Toha days, there you go.
I mean, you're getting your money's worth out of those miniatures.
Yeah. So Toha stays, okay. Aleph keeps OSS and Steel Phalanx, okay. JSA becomes a faction now, so they have the new sectoral army, Sindembutai, and the old sectoral army that is now called the Grey Watch, JSA Oban. And also a selection of units that will compose JSA as a generic vanilla faction with less flexible fireteams than Oban and Sindembutai, but still. O12, still there. Starmada and Torres Brigade, of course. So Torres Brigade was even designed a la M5 and then translated to M4 to be released for M4.
Okay.
But it was totally an M5 army. In fact, Torres Brigade was bringing the light to those without law. That was an army for O12 designed to be at planet Shinju, where there is no law because they are colonizing it without any kind of restriction. So Torres Brigade was originally conceived to be already in planet Shinju.
Right, okay.
So the whole rounded Corvus Belli scheme that was there.
And now the NA2s, so...
And finally, Drewsbury and Security, so the Drews stay. Ikari Company, which is another way of playing with the Japanese. Dashat Company. Dashat Company is there.
And White Company.
And White Co. So we are not seeing here Starco or Forco, but you might get a little surprise with that when you see the whole files.
So Spiral Core also gone?
Spiral Corps is out of the picture.
Out of the picture.
But
well, they did really actually break reality for a while there, so I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. They went through a quantum anomaly zone. But Toha stays. So, and remember that many Spiral Corps units were also in Toha.
Okay, that's good then. Rules, right.
Rules. So, let's begin with this. Okay, Beta. This was news a few weeks ago. Now is totally assumed. Nothing changes. Subtle changes, as you can see. So instead of wounds, we have Beta. Nothing new here. Moving on. Okay, I like a lot what they have done with the weapons, because apart from possibility of survival that makes the rolls go coherently, if we move to the next screen, we can see here how the weapons will be now featured whenever you print your army list in the army. So you will have the name, the range, the possibility of survival, the burst, the ammunition, the salvation roll that tells you which attribute are you using,
so
and
armor,
the salvation,
BTS,
and the salvation number. So in the way they stated there, you have armor piece ammunition. You will see that the salvation roll will be arm/2, and the salvation number is 1. If you had DA ammunition, you will see that you will be using attribute arm, and the salvation number will be 2. So this way of featuring the weaponry allows you or makes the people do not have to go then to the ammunition chart.
So you didn't have to, for example, remember explosive is 3 or viral was like, for example,
BTS 2. So comes in a way that makes you have everything there, less to care about. Got the missiles. Finally, will be
okay. This is the big one, right?
It's not the big one. It's not that big.
Okay.
You can reset against guided missiles, and if you succeed, not only you will dodge the missile, you will also get rid of the target state. That's the thing.
That's good. That's really good. Okay, that's excellent.
I think it's reset -3.
Reset -3.
It's still like that. It's a face-to-face roll against the guided missile that if you succeed, you get rid of the state.
Perfect.
Close combat mechanics. Now instead of whenever your value goes above 20, instead of rolling the dice and adding that extra above 20 to the dice, and if you reach certain levels, you will get critical hit. Now goes from below, making a low roll, becoming a critical hit. Because the excess goes to the bottom of the tower.
There is nothing worse in life than Hippolyta going into close combat needing 26 and rolling a 2 against junk. It's soul destroying, but now that would be a critical as well. So yeah, that's pretty good.
Mathematically,
it's the same actually mathematically, but
you're a scientist, you know about this. So.
But those low numbers now are still good, and that changes it a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, moving on. Natural Born Warrior. That will counter only negative modifiers. All the positive modifiers involved in the combat remain. Let's take a look now at the martial arts chart for M5. which is now like this. Level 1 is just a rival negative modifier to your rival.
Okay.
Level 2 is +3 and -3 and keeps being like that for all the rest of the levels. But from level 3 is a +1 burst to your roll, but 1 dice is removed after the roll.
And who chooses that dice?
You after the roll, after confrontation, your dice with the dice of your opponent. You choose the ugly duck of the results, that goes away and stays with the better result.
Okay.
If they're both the same, you choose one to go away. So it's not burst 2. Is you roll 2, but just 1 stays, 1 remains.
Gotcha.
So it's not a landslide of impact. While in level 4 is really +1 to your burst, it's 2 dice and 2 dice stays. And to the level 5 is you will roll 3 dice, but 1 is removed after.
Okay. But that's still pretty good down at close combat high units, yeah. Okay.
Moving on, Speedball. This is a new skill that you can spend a command token to request a Speedball. That will be a chart. There will be 2 Speedballs at the table falling. Boom, boom. You make a roll. One contains something that you specifically request from a chart, and the other one is random from a roll.
Okay.
Something that will come to you. It's not specifically weaponry. Can be even like a medikit to resurrect a unit that has been falling down.
So like a portable panoply, really, where it's just like roll and get something out of the panoply.
Yeah.
But this type is just Speedball.
That comes with many different loadouts, but it's not weaponry. People are thinking about weaponry. The main thing here, the mechanic is fun. It's funny for people, like, because Speedball comes like a video game reference and stuff like that.
Brutal and Brutal Deluxe.
Yeah. For developers, this is adding value to the command tokens. And the command tokens, the more valuable they are, the more difficult is the choice to how to use them. That is giving interesting choices.
All I'm thinking of is the film A Bridge Too Far, where they're getting airdropped supplies and the guy runs, goes and picks them up, almost makes it back, and it turns out it was just extra berets.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see people running across the board to try and get their hands on something and then just going, that's filled with ramen noodles.
Did you get the HMG? No, but I have a motorcycle now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's no HMG coming in a Speedball.
Oh, okay.
No. It's equipment, is useful stuff, but not weaponry. Not
extra visors. I hear there are a lot of them about these days.
Combat Instinct. Corvus Belli got 6 cents from M4. Grab it with the hands and split it in 2. Okay. Now, Combat Instinct is in the event of any surprise attack declared against the possessor of Combat Instinct, he will ignore the mod to his roll imposed by, say, the special skill. So, a camouflage guy like the Scarecrow can surprise attacks you, but you have Combat Instinct, therefore you are immune to that modifier.
Okay.
So that is 1/2 of 6 cents. Now it's called Combat Instinct, and is a skill. It comes in the profile. You will have
Jet
super jump with
propulsion.
jet propulsions. Those troops who have this skill in the unit profile can control the trajectory of the jump, allowing them to jump in one direction and retrace their path through the air before landing on the landing surface. So you can correct the path of the.
That's
super
interesting. I see a lot of tactical possibilities with that
Well,
one.
for the Banshee, which is the example, there is not that much because Banshee is a 4/4 unit. But imagine units that are flying drones, flying units with lots of movement who can then change the trajectory. That's useful. Okay, and this is the big one. Okay. This is the image that is going to. I don't know if it has been revealed yet, but we're talking about this. Fireteam's rule for M5 is all about the purity of the fireteam. So there we go. We have 5 levels. Being level 1, as an example, we're using core fireteams from sectorials with 5 guys in it. But this also applies to Harris and to duos. Okay. So if you happen to have a crazy bachelor's party there as a fireteam with a disciplined soldier that is required to make the fireteam, but then you have
pretty common.
A remote, a mercenary, a super cool guy, wildcard, super charismatic guy from the army that is everywhere, and a mercenary, again, an alien mercenary, then all you get is all units activated with a single order. You're lucky if you can make a fireteam with those guys, okay? If you're deliberately making a fireteam with these guys, it's because the combination of skills is so rich that performs and do everything. So I'm sacrificing not having all the bonuses because this team makes everything. And that has happened
with
Fireteams.
Versatile Fireteams where somebody brings the MSV, somebody brings the hacking device.
Yeah, this is hacker, this is special, this is super weapon, this guy has combat instinct, therefore the guy is immune to camouflage. Maybe that's a combination that in your sectorial army happens. Not everybody has it. Okay, level 2, +1 burst, but 1 dice is removed after the roll. It's the same thing as martial arts that we have seen, but now applied to burst in level 2 Fireteams. Therefore, duos can benefit from this. Therefore, Harrys can benefit from this, lose a member, and still benefit from this.
Nice. Okay, that's pretty good.
So, +1 burst. Suddenly your burst 4 Spitfire is a burst 5. You roll 5 dice, but the ugly duck is removed.
And it doesn't have to be a successful dice. It can be any of the dice you roll.
You decide which one goes away.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
You, the guy with the Fireteam rolling those dice, you decide. It's not your opponent and no one else. You decide. If you're having a landslide of a victory, or you suffer a landslide, like the 5 dice of that Spitfire hit on you, it's not 5 dice, it's 4. So, in a certain way, this increases the survivability of units in the game because they're willing not through +1 burst. Okay, and also, applies to lower Fireteams, to duos, benefit from this. And generic vanilla armies can also use duos. And generic vanilla army can also use Harrys. Therefore, hypothetically speaking, we can have a generic vanilla Pano, Yuching, Nomads army deploying, and in the first time reactive turn, in the first turn, without anything else, having 7 figures reacting with +1 burst, fake +1 burst.
Fake pseudo +1 burst shows up.
Pseudo, meta. Okay, so that means you're answering the attacks of your opponent with 2 dice, and then this, the good one stays. The good one, okay. So that's cool. Apart from that, level 3, I think is very self-explanatory. Level 3 means that 3 of the units have that coherency, that purity, okay? And the other 2 are people that doesn't bring bonuses to the team. Because we're looking still at a composition of 5 guys over there. We still have a wild card that is not labeled as a Fusilier, and we still have an alien sniper over there, something like that. Okay, level 3 +3 to discover rules to your willpower, and +1
to dodge
rolls.
Yeah, so this
very
is
specific.
Very
specific. Very nothing meaningful here. Okay. Then level 4, we have 4 discipline guys and 1 extra silly guy.
And this is quite common. You might see a fire team with like 4 Fusiliers and 1 specialist in there, which is quite a common fire team.
Yeah.
So this is one you'll see a lot.
To boost with bonuses that 1 guy. There you go. BS attack +1. No longer +3, just +1. Are you going to sacrifice to compose your fireteam just looking for that +1? Is that important? No, because I can put a super guy over there and benefit from the rest of the bonuses. It's up to you. This is a rule, apart from being a rule, allows a lot of creativity with composition. So this is rich. This is not, you have to play the game this way. No, this allows a lot of composition, a lot of armies. So base attack +1 used to be +3. Because 16 years ago, fireteams were written, trying to improve Sansins and Fusiliers to play with the big guys. Now we don't consider necessary to go that far away. And finally, level 5, everybody is in full coherency, they win 6 cents. What is 6 cents in M5? 6 cents is all about being attacked from outside your line of sight or your line of fire. Its possessor to respond to attacks that are declared against him from outside his line of fire, shoot from the back. And also allows the possessor to respond to attacks that comes from a smoke, zero visibility zone, without applying the -6 modifier. And also dodge without any negative modifiers. So 6 cents in M5 is about line of fire, line of sight. Being attacked. And that's something that you can see.
And that's why you decoupled it then from the combat instinct. So it makes a bit more sense.
Conscious decision to cut power from the fireteams, to avoid fireteams become a wall and people smashing against that wall and cannot overcome a super fireteam with all the bonuses, with multi-spectral visors, with everything in it, and people colliding against that. So essentially, we are cutting down power from core fireteams while at the same time giving power to Harrys and duos. So in a certain way, balancing generic vanilla armies with sectorial armies, because sectorial armies will still have lots of flexibility, lots of units that count as lots of stuff really.
I have a couple of questions before we move off this.
Yep.
First question. Are they cumulative throughout the levels?
Yes. So if you have level 5, you have everything else.
So you've got everything below.
Yeah.
And then obviously then if you happen to start losing members from the fire team, you'll just drop down to your next highest
if
level.
you're losing the guys that gives you the coherency, the purity, if you lose the regular Fusiliers that brings all the modifiers, then you lose the bonuses. But if you lose the crazy wacky wildcard that does not bring any food to the table, they're not you're not using not losing the benefits.
So sometimes you have to when you're building your fire team, be very aware of where you're positioning certain models, because if somebody happens to be your coherent, your pure core of your fire team have managed to get themselves in a position where they're going to get shot up, then all of a sudden all the bonuses may disappear with one terrible round of shooting. And you're just left with your activation on a single order. Well, that's not as much fun.
Veteran Infinity players know how to position their spearheads and their boosters and stuff like that.
That's all right. I'm speaking up for all of the other players.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us out there. We're not that great.
So now that we know the rules for fire teams, we can take a look again at the sectorial chart and take a look at what do we have in the Operation Sandtrap box. Because if we look at the Senku fire teams, we can see that Senku is always required to assemble a fire team, but you can put 5 Senkus in a fire team, fine, they will have all the bonuses. What we can see here is that the G-Samurai in Hatamoto from the box can be part of a fire team, but next to the 3 Senkus, you will have just the modifiers for level 3, because the G-Samurai or the Hatamoto does not count as Senkus. We have another fire team there, this is the Bushitai, that makes the G-Samurai and Hatamoto count as Bushitai, so they will have like a fire team duo bonus if you put just together the 2 miniatures from the box. And has also, the Yamabushi can be part of that fire team in the FTO loadout, but without counting as a Bushitai. And Shisoku, there's another unit of FTO that doesn't count a Bushitai. Also, Sayo fire teams, the Tanuki with the Karakuri, with the Yamabushi, and the Yaoshe Ruishi, and they count in a Sayo. So we have their units that can be combined together in order to have bonuses of fire team. We have also the Mechazoid fire teams, which is obviously putting someone next to a Mechazoid tag, having just the chance to go together, because we can see a remote or a Tanuki going with the Mechazoid. And finally, the wildcards, Shurayuki and Yuriko Oda. Yuriko Oda from the GSA, that counts as a Senku.
So you can join that team, pure Senku troops?
Correct.
Yeah, so you keep all the bonuses.
You have unlimited amount of fighting duos, maximum 1 Haris, maximum 1 core. That's the Shindenbutai fighting chart. Now that we know the rules for fighting, this makes more sense.
It does, yeah.
Okay. If we keep on moving forward, we can take also at the fighting chart from the KFC.
KFC, yes.
And we can see that we can put together from the box the 3 Fusiliers, the Black Air with the FTO loadout, the multi-sniper rifle and neurokinetics, with the Griffin.
Who counts as a Fennec.
Who counts as a Fennec. So
with
you will get a level 4 fire team there.
That's pretty good.
So that's it. We can keep looking at the Kestrel fire teams with Griffin, Firefly, that counts as Kestrel, and Hikari, Armored fire teams with all those units.
Oh, look at that. That's tasty. Tikbalang, Squall, Max. Oh.
Colcore fire teams, and Colcore is special. They allow to make Minescore Jackals and Magistrate go together like horse and carriage and get the bonuses for composition. And then you have the wildcards. But now more than ever is when we look at the wildcards, looking if they have any kind of label that gives them the purity. Vipandra counts both as a Kestrel and a Fennec.
And so as Richard Quinn.
And so as Richard Quinn, there you go. So, unlimited amount of duos, maximum 1 core, maximum 1 Haris. So now you know a lot of rules, more. There's a lot of content in this video to get crazy about, but also your creativity and your choices and your criteria when assembling your army, because there's a lot to digest here and a lot to play. In Corvus Belli, we consider that you're already playing Infinity when you get into the army and assemble your army. Enjoy. Once on November 18th, when the app updates and you have all the profiles and all the information, it will be a joy, absolutely, to compose your new list for playing your M5 tournaments.
And don't be disheartened if your army has disappeared. For example, if you played a Consamento and now they're no longer there. My Continental regulars will just become Fennec Fusiliers, and other troops will just transfer across because the proxy rules are quite generous. You can just use anything of the same silhouette height, and yeah, they'll just transfer across. I know it's not going to be great for everybody, but you'll still be able to use most of your models that you've bought and use for other purposes.
Get crazy. Let us know in the comments below. Get crazy in a bad way or in a good way. Get crazy. It's Infinity M5. It has arrived. It's the moment. Spread the word. Share the hype with everybody else. The game is getting crazier. The game is getting worse, best. I don't know. It's the decisions that we have made from collecting so many years of tournaments, and this is the way it's going to be right now. So enjoy.
We look forward to seeing what filth lists appear on the internet on the 19th of November. That gives you
Fingers
24 hours to
yeah.
come up with all the madness.
Servers just melt down. Puddles of goo. Yeah.
Let us know what you think below of the new Fireteam rules and the other bits and pieces we've talked about. It seems like a great cleanup for N5. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
It's Infinity N5 week, and we have 3 Operation Sandtrap Battle Packs to be won. We will choose 3 winners, 1 from the comments on our YouTube videos, 1 from the comments on OnTableTop.com, and 1 from our Cult of Games members, so you guys get an extra chance to win.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and while you're at it, why not hit subscribe, and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it, go on.